Why are men often more comfortable ranking each other strictly by competence, while women tend to prefer democratic decision-making, even when it means risking failure? This question isn't just an academic curiosity. It influences who gets promoted, which teams succeed under pressure, and why so many workplaces struggle to balance competition with collaboration. From boardrooms to reality TV shows like Survivor, the way men and women approach hierarchy can look strikingly different. Understanding these patterns isn't about reinforcing stereotypes. It's about uncovering how childhood play and lifelong socialization shape our instinctive beliefs about leadership, fairness, and success. Before I continue, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends, so more people can discover this content. Also, subscribe to receive more content like this. Differences between men and women in how they organize, compete, and distribute roles in groups have been observed across cultures and situations, from corporate boardrooms to reality television shows. One of the central reasons for this difference, as discussed in books such as Hardball for Women, Winning at the Game of Business by Pat Heim, Tammy Hughes, and Susan K. Golant, is early socialization. Particularly the way boys and girls play teaches them to value different social dynamics. This video will explore how childhood play shapes men's comfort with competence-based hierarchies, why women often gravitate toward more egalitarian or democratic structures, and how these tendencies surface dramatically in examples such as TV's Survivor and broader political preferences. From a young age, boys and girls learn very different lessons about status, competition, and cooperation. According to Hardball for Women, boys' play typically revolves around structured team sports and competitive games that feature clear rules, scorekeeping, and winners. When boys play soccer or baseball, the primary goal is to win. Performance is public and measurable. You either score or you don't. You either defend well or you fail. Through this process, boys internalize a strong respect for competence and the idea that the most skilled or effective individuals should naturally rise to positions of leadership. They learn that success is often contingent on selecting the right person for the right role, and that it is acceptable, even expected, to challenge or replace someone who isn't performing. This experience also teaches boys to separate personal feelings from role assignments. If a teammate is not a good pitcher, he may still be a good friend. Over time, this creates a comfort with hierarchical structures grounded in merit and performance. Boys learn to respect authority when it is earned, and to accept that leadership is not necessarily about popularity or inclusiveness, but about getting results. Girls, in contrast, tend to engage in more relationship-focused play. Games like house, school, or jump rope often lack the clear-cut scoring and public rankings of boys' sports. The emphasis is on maintaining harmony, inclusion, and shared experience rather than winning or demonstrating superiority. If a girl becomes too dominant or tries to assert her skills too aggressively, she risks social rejection. The group may view her as bossy or selfish, undermining the solidarity valued in these circles. This teaches girls that it is safer to downplay differences in competence and to prioritize cohesion over hierarchical sorting. This fundamental divergence in play teaches boys to accept and even celebrate competence-based hierarchy, while girls learn to prefer egalitarian, consensus-driven structures. Another important dimension that Pat Heim highlights in Hardball for Women is the tendency for girls to withdraw or abandon competitive activities when the pressure mounts. During childhood play, boys often learn to persist even when the game becomes intense or emotionally charged. If a dispute arises over a rule or a teammate's performance, boys are generally socialized to argue it out, resolve the issue, and continue playing. Quitting is discouraged. Staying in the game is a sign of resilience and commitment to the team's objective. By contrast, girls' play is more likely to end when conflict escalates. When harmony is threatened, When someone feels excluded, criticized, or upset, the group frequently decides to stop playing altogether rather than confront the tension. In these moments, preserving relationships takes precedence over finishing the game or proving competence. As Heim observes, this pattern teaches many girls that it is safer to disengage from competitive situations rather than risk social fallout or damage to group cohesion. This tendency carries over into adulthood. In high-pressure work environments, women who have internalized the norm of withdrawing under stress may be more likely to step back from conflicts, relinquish leadership opportunities, or avoid confrontations that could damage relationships. While this approach can sometimes protect group unity, these early lessons carry over into adult settings. In corporate environments, men are generally more comfortable with competition, direct critique, and clear performance rankings. They see no contradiction between maintaining good relationships and assigning roles based on skill. This can be seen in how teams are organized. Men tend to quickly identify the most capable person and expect that individual to lead or take on more responsibility, even if it creates friction. Women, however, often feel torn between valuing competence and maintaining relational equity. Because their childhood play rewarded inclusiveness over hierarchy, women may feel uncomfortable openly endorsing one person as more capable or deserving of authority. This can lead to decision-making processes that emphasize consensus and avoid clear differentiation of roles, even when it hampers efficiency. Pat Heim argues that these patterns can put women at a disadvantage in competitive work environments. The reluctance to play hardball, to challenge, critique, or assert oneself can be interpreted as a lack of leadership potential. Yet when women do assert themselves forcefully, they often face social penalties, being labeled as abrasive or unlikable. This double bind reinforces the tendency to avoid competence-based hierarchies and to default to democratic, relationship-preserving structures instead. These underlying socialization patterns may also help explain why, in the United States, women tend to prefer the Democratic Party over the Republican Party. While politics is influenced by countless factors, economics, religion, education, the cultural values associated with each party resonate differently with men's and women's social experiences. The Republican Party often emphasizes hierarchy, competition, individual achievement, and clear authority structures, values more consistent with boys' competitive play and men's comfort with merit-based sorting. The Democratic Party, in contrast, tends to champion inclusiveness, social safety nets, and collective decision-making, values more consistent with the relational, egalitarian norms learned in girls' play. Women's preference for Democratic candidates may reflect not only policy alignment, but also an intuitive comfort with the party's emphasis on social welfare, cooperation, and consensus. Just as in their childhood play, many women see systems that reduce harsh competition and ensure nobody is left out as more just and humane. The divergence in comfort with competence hierarchies is dramatically illustrated in reality television shows like Survivor, where contestants must endure harsh, remote locations without food, shelter, or modern comforts, while competing in challenges and voting each other out. In several seasons, producers have experimented with dividing contestants into all-male and all-female tribes. The results often echo what researchers like Pat Heim describe. The men tend to assign roles quickly based on observable skills: who can fish, who can build shelter, who can navigate and hold each other accountable when performance falls short. They are more willing to argue openly and replace weak contributors to improve the group's chances. Women's tribes, on the other hand, often struggle with this dynamic. Out of concern for group cohesion and fear of social backlash, women frequently hesitate to single out the most competent individual or to openly challenge underperformers. As a result, roles can remain ambiguous, and tasks may not be delegated to the most qualified person. The desire to maintain inclusiveness and equality can end up undermining efficiency and resilience. While these outcomes vary across individuals and situations, the general pattern supports the observation that men are more comfortable establishing and enforcing competence hierarchies, while women lean toward democratic processes, even in high-stakes situations. It is important to note that neither approach is inherently superior. The competence hierarchy that men favor can lead to faster decisions, clearer accountability, and better short-term performance, particularly when tasks are specialized and failure carries a high cost. However, it can also breed resentment, discourage collaboration, and create toxic competition. Conversely, the democratic approach that women often prefer promotes cohesion, shared purpose, and psychological safety. This can lead to more sustainable teamwork over the long term, but may impede decisive action when roles and expectations remain too vague. Organizations that rely exclusively on one style risk dysfunction. Too much hierarchy without empathy can feel oppressive, while too much consensus without clarity can feel paralyzing. The difference in how men and women respect competence hierarchies is rooted in socialization processes that begin in childhood. Boys' competitive play teaches them to value and accept clear role differentiation based on skill, while girls' relational play encourages inclusiveness and harmony over public ranking. These lessons follow individuals into adulthood, shaping everything from workplace behavior to political preferences. The patterns we see in reality shows like Survivor, where men quickly assign roles based on ability while women often hesitate, are vivid examples of how deeply these social norms run. Ultimately, understanding these differences allows us to appreciate both the strengths and the limitations of each style. Organizations and teams benefit most when they can balance the clarity of competence hierarchies with the cohesion of democratic processes. Likewise, individuals thrive when they learn to adapt their natural tendencies to suit the demands of different situations, whether that means learning to play hardball when necessary or ensuring that competitiveness does not erode trust and respect. If this topic sparked your curiosity or challenged the way you think about leadership, competition, or collaboration, do you think these patterns are changing in modern workplaces? Have you seen these dynamics play out in your own life? Drop a comment with your thoughts. Please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more content.